welcome to the London Palladium for the Olivier Awards with Mastercard 2020. It is great to be back here in the heart of Theatreland to celebrate the best of British theatre. Let's have a sneak preview of some of tonight's contenders. So in this difficult year, obviously we're not able to celebrate as we normally would, but like everybody else in the UK, we're going to make the most of it. So welcome to these not too shabby surroundings as we celebrate the country's stellar theatre industry and the best of UK talent on and off stage, plus some very special awards and unique performances. Time now for our first award tonight, and that is for Best Actress. As for all our awards, Zoe Wanamaker will take us through the 4 outstanding nominees.
Best Actress. Hayley Atwell for Rosmersholm at Duke of York's Theatre. Sharon D. Clarke for Death of a Salesman at Young Vic and Piccadilly Theatre. Juliet Stevenson for The Doctor at Almeida Theatre. Phoebe Waller-Bridge for Fleabag at Wyndham's Theatre.
OK, and the Olivier goes to... Ooh, they've never let me do this bit before. I didn't know it was Velcro. The Olivier goes to... Sharon D. Clarke! Congratulations. That's yours.
Hello. Hello, baby. OK. Firstly, thank you. I am truly honoured and humbled to receive this award for being a part of this groundbreaking production. Thank you, Marianda. That's Marianne and Miranda, and all of the creative team for their beautiful vision. To the cast at the Young Vic and the Piccadilly, beautiful souls, each and every one. I'd like to dedicate this award to my parents, Viola and Vincent Clarke, part of the Windrush generation. And I want to dedicate it to my inspiration, my rock and my comfort, my wife, Susie McKenna. Lastly, shouting out all freelancers who really do make theatre work. We must know our worth in this industry and what our incredible industry brings not only to the coffers, but to the soul of our nation. Keep the faith, people. We will be back.
Lovely words. The show was absolutely wonderful. Everybody I saw, spoke to about it, loved it over Christmas. And then, of course, obviously, it all went in March. How strange is it for you, for someone who has pretty much been in the theatre non-stop for decades, to suddenly not be in there?
It's the weirdest feeling in the world. Yeah. And, having done a few things in theatres like this, where we're in, but there is no audience, it's so heartbreaking. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? To not be performing, to not be sharing the love and to be educating and holding up the mirror and, you know what I mean, just entertaining.
Of course.
It's hard.
But like you said, we will be back.
We will be back.
Thanks, Sharon. Always lovely to see you. Yeah, you too.
Blessings.
Take care. Tonight, as has been the case for decades, these awards are named after actor Laurence Olivier, and winners receive this individually cast bronze statue of Sir Laurence playing Henry V at the Old Vic Theatre. On the subject of great actors, let's see the nominees for this year's Best Actor.
Best Actor. Toby Jones for Uncle Vanya at Harold Pinter Theatre. James McAvoy for Cyrano de Bergerac at Playhouse Theatre. Wendell Pierce for Death of a Salesman at Young Vic and Piccadilly Theatre. Andrew Scott for Present Laughter at the Old Vic.
And the Olivier Award goes to... Andrew Scott!
Fantastic. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much to the judging panel, and congratulations to the other nominees. This is genuinely amazing. What to say? I'd love to just talk about laughter and comedy. I think a sense of humor is something that's incredibly important for us people in the theatre. It's something that's helped us all survive in the past couple of months during this really arduous time. I want to thank Stephen Beresford, the funniest person in the world, really, who suggested that we do this play in the first place. But most especially, I'd like to thank the king of comedy, Mr. Noel Coward. I think sometimes being funny or having a funny play is something that we think is a poor cousin to tragedy. But he put forward so many brave and progressive ideas through comedy, and he's a real hero to me, and I'm so pleased that this play can be sort of seen anew. So thank you so much, and keep smiling, everybody, and keep the faith, and I can't wait to be back on the boards having a laugh again as soon as we can. Thank you so much. I'm genuinely thrilled. Thanks a lot. Lots of love.
Lovely. Always a pleasure, Andrew.
Hey, Jason.
Congratulations, mate.
Good luck to you.
Well, the award is on its way, mate. Now, the first of our special performances tonight is from the show nominated for more awards than any other this evening. And Juliet is up for 8 awards, including for its lead actress, Miriam Teak Lee. The show takes Max Martin's music and incorporates the new story, imagining what might happen if Juliet had survived in Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet. Miriam joins us now to perform a song from the show, Baby One More Time.
Baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here? Oh, baby, I shouldn't have let you go. And now you're out of sight, yeah. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now, because my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, the reason I breathe is you. Boy, you got me blinded. Oh, pretty baby, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. It's not the way I planned it. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now, because my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, baby, how was I supposed to know? Oh, pretty baby, I shouldn't have let you go. I must confess that my loneliness is killing me now. Don't you know I still believe that you will be here and give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Wow, what a performance and what a show. Back at the Shaftesbury Avenue next March, fingers crossed, and Juliet. Definitely go and see that. Still to come, we recognise a groundbreaking UK tour by a theatrical night and an exclusive performance from the musical Dear Evan Hansen. See you after the break. Welcome back to the beautiful Cinderella Bar here at the London Palladium. Our next award is for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, and 4 well-known faces make up the nominees.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Michelle Austen for Cyrano de Bergerac at Playhouse Theatre. Sophie Thompson for Present Laughter at the Old Vic. Indira Varma for Present Laughter at the Old Vic. Josie Walker for The Ocean at the End of the Lane at National Theatre, Dorfman.
And the Olivier Award goes to Indira Varma, who joins us now from New York.
Why'd you speak?
Sort of, yeah, just whatever you want.
Oh, God. It's such an honour to be awarded an Olivier. And as you can tell, I can't be cool and blasé, not even on Zoom. It's incredible enough to be nominated alongside these incredible actresses. Thank you, Matthew and the Old Vic, for being a beacon of hope in these dark times with the in-camera performances. And thank you to our incredibly talented cast who never stopped laughing, always supported each other, and just raised each other's game. Lastly, I would like to thank the Oliviers for pledging to tackle fair representation. And I cannot wait that once this pandemic is over and theatres reopen, to see the talent that emerges thanks to the new opportunities given to those who are sometimes left behind. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks, Indira.
Cheers.
Tonight, we are honoured to pay a special tribute to a theatrical titan, not only a widely acclaimed actor who has won countless awards for his work in theatre, on TV and film, but also someone who has devoted his life to helping and campaigning for other people. For his 80th birthday, he embarked on a simply extraordinary theatre tour of the UK, visiting 68 towns and cities across the UK and Northern Ireland, including Jersey, the farthest south, and Orkney, the farthest north, and covering over 12,000 miles. Directed by Sean Matthias and produced by the Ambassador Theatre Group, the show then had a run in the West End. Let's take a look.
To mark his 80th birthday, Ian McKellen set off on a unique tour to celebrate a unique career. Calling at venues large and small all around the country, Ian delighted audiences with an evening of some of the most famous scenes from his decades on stage and screen, along with some anecdotes picked up along the way. But more than a self-proclaimed birthday present to himself, more than a showcase of his best performances across the decades, this tour has truly been Ian's love letter to British theatre. Beginning in January 2019 at his local arts centre, Ian travelled the length and breadth of the country, ending up in Orkney in August before settling back into the West End for a limited run. Visiting 87 local venues, Ian's evenings of scenes, soliloquies and stories from a long and illustrious career would always finish the same way, with Ian stood in the foyer with a bright yellow bucket, collecting donations from the audience as they left. Every penny from tickets and programmes purchased went into the same pot, raising £3 million in total for local theatres and their arts projects up and down the United Kingdom. On his return to the West End, Ian played 80 nights at the Harold Pinter Theatre, raising a further £1.6 million. The tangible impact Ian's fundraising will have on local theatres and theatre charities, with just 1 year of shows, is perhaps more than any one person has made in such a short space of time. On behalf of the London and UK theatre community, for all you've done to promote and support theatres nationwide, thank you, Ian.
Ian, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
This is my first time I've ever appeared at the Palladium and I didn't make it down onto the stage.
I know, it's nice to be back in a theatre, though, even in a sort of an odd sort of way.
Oh, yeah, particularly this one. It's one of the great theatres of the world, yes.
Yeah, it really is. Now, you actually played in... obviously, when we do the Oliviers, we often focus on London, but you... Yeah. Went and performed all over the country, doing lots of different places.
Yeah, it was just this crazy idea. I was coming up for 80 and I didn't want to have a birthday party. I thought.
Right.
I didn't think it was anything to celebrate. So I thought, if I go out of London, no one will be able to find me and I can just have a nice time. So I'll do this tour. And I initially thought I'd go around the world. There are 80 theatres around the world. And then when I counted up, there were nearly 80 theatres that I knew and loved in this country. So I thought, why bother going abroad? Amazing
thing to do. An amazing amount of money to raise for those theatres as well.
Well, it was a simple idea. Thanks to ATG, my producers, we were able to do it very, very cheaply. And I think we'd charge each theatre, they could have it for £1,000, and anything they took at the box office they could keep.
Wow.
To spend as they...
Yeah.
Well, so we've set up scholarships for kids who can't get to theatres, bus fares for old people who can't get to the theatre easily, lots of ladies' loos I've built up and down the country.
Well, you will be a hero in a lot of people's homes right now. And I saw the show, and it was absolutely fabulous. I loved it.
It was a bit of stand-up, wasn't it?
It was a bit of stand-up. I was saying that to a few of my sort of comic friends, and it was really... Like, thank goodness he didn't become a stand-up, because a few of us would have been out of work. So when you were putting the show together to go on tour, like I said, when I saw it, it felt like it included everything, but you must have left out more stuff than you put in. How did you decide what to put in there?
Well, just things that I was most interested in and remember with most gratitude. I suppose it was the story of how I fell in love with the theatre and why I never fell out of love with it. Right from the word go, and I started off at my local arts centre in the Isle of Dogs in London with an audience of 50. I realised I was onto a winner because I was speaking about things that the audience cared about.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a place for one night, you get the cream of the audience, of course.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everyone wants to be there. They're not being told it's good. They want to be there to discover that it's good. As in pantomime, which I love to do, and to see, the audience were allowed to join in. And
yes, well, I noticed that. There was people joining in and shouting out. Was anything said that surprised you?
The most surprising thing that's ever happened to me with an audience participation was when I was doing Hamlet, and there was a woman on the front row following the play in the text, you know, catching from the stage lights the original Shakespeare on the page. And when it got to be or not to be, she put the book down because she knew those words, and she said them with me. That's all you need.
I love the idea of that. That's great. But it must, I mean, even in the room when I was watching the show, like you said, there was a real, not just love from the audience, but there was obviously a respect for somebody who's been dedicated to the theatre for so long. Was it something, you know, when you started out, did you ever envisage at any point that it would get to a special award for doing something like this? No, of course
not. But you don't think about those things. No. I like acting in every medium. Radio, TV, big screen, thrilling. But in the theatre, you can't beat it because there's an extra element there, a huge element, the audience, all those other people.
Yes, yeah.
Who are giving you the time of day and are prepared to shut up and, for the most part, not cough. Will there ever be a cough in a theatre again? I don't think, because you know,
unless you want to clear the place.
I think we may have cured cough. But just to be with like-minded people and to realise that my passion for the theatre and my belief that a country that cares about its live theatre is a healthy country, because it's reminding people that we're only fully ourselves when we're communicating with other people. And although you can do that on your iPhone, you can do it on FaceTime, it's nothing better than doing it face-to-face, is it? So I've had a little idea that maybe in a couple of years we should have a great big festival of not just theatre, but live arts, music, dance.
Yeah.
And that everyone should tour, everyone should get off their backsides and go out and go around the country. That the Edinburgh Festival should go on tour. That the Fringe
That'd be amazing.
should go on tour. Why not?
Yeah, of course.
Why should it just be in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
And that we should have a whole year of reminding the world and ourselves how much theatre means to us.
Well, I hope that the special award and, you know, what you've said tonight does inspire some of the people at your level as well to go, actually, maybe I will go up to Orkney and over to Jersey and put on some plays. And like you said, rather than having people always come to London every time, I think that's a very noble cause. Thanks so much. It was an absolute treat to talk to you.
Very nice to see you in this magnificent setting.
Yeah, really.
And many, many thanks.
Well, congratulations. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've awarded those performing in plays, so on now to our musical stars. And first up, the nominees for Best Actor in a Musical.
Best Actor in a Musical. Andy Nyman for Fiddler on the Roof at Playhouse Theatre. Charlie Stemp for Mary Poppins at Prince Edward Theatre. Sam Tutty for Dear Evan Hansen at Noel Coward Theatre. Jack Yarrow for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at the London Palladium.
And the Olivier Award goes to Sam Tutty. Hiya, pal.
You're right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to say a few words. My gratitude for all of this entire evening is absolutely immeasurable. My fellow castmates, I am immensely grateful. You are all incredible, and it has been the greatest honour of my life to be able to share the stage and theatre with you. To the creative team, your talent is terrifying, but your humility, your selflessness, your patience it reminds us how lucky we are to be able to work with you. And quickly to my mum, you have made this dream a reality. You know, you have worked just as hard for this as I have. This one's for you. To my mum, my brother, my girlfriend, and to my dearest friends, you have helped me in more ways than you will ever know. So Thank you very much and good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, still to come, this year's special award gets presented by Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cornwall. But before that, a performance from our newly crowned Best Actor in a Musical, Sam Tutty, with Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share, no, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? We start with stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong, but every sun doesn't rise, and no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving when you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around? Do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I never made a sound. Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving? Waving,
Welcome back, and on to the award for Best Actress in a Musical. The nominees are...
Best Actress in a Musical. Audrey Brisson for Amélie the Musical at the Other Palace. Judy Kuhn for Fiddler on the Roof at Playhouse Theatre. Miriam Teak Lee for And Juliet at Shaftesbury Theatre. Zizi Strallen for Mary Poppins at Prince Edward Theatre.
And the Olivier Award goes to... Miriam Teak Lee! Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm shaking. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for this. You know, even though it's not the award show as we know it, it doesn't make it any less special, honestly. I used to watch award shows like this all the time growing up, and I was so in awe of the people when they would get up on the podium and they would give their speech, and I was just like, I want to be there. And I had no idea how that was gonna happen, you know, no clue. And I was like, what would I even say? But this is just absolutely incredible, you know, and my mom always said to me that I can do anything that I put my mind to, absolutely anything, and that I should see myself as the spirit first and foremost, equal to everyone, and I can do anything. And I hope that I can inspire young children who are coming up into this business, know that they can do anything, and with everything that's going on in the world right now, just to keep the faith and keep the hope. To my entire family and my love, and of course to everyone at Juliet, all of the cast, the crew, and the creatives, thank you for allowing me to bring life to this character and create a character who has so much integrity and love and power. It's just been incredible. Thank you so much to the Oliviers. I will never forget this for as long as I live.
Oh, well done, Miriam. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next award tonight celebrates new writing. The fictionalised account of how a real-life poisoning affects a community. The tale of a doctor's moral dilemma, which erupts into a national scandal. A play following a prosperous Jewish family over many decades. And a magical family tale of a mystical and unfamiliar world. Here are the nominees for the American Airlines Best New Play.
American Airlines Best New Play. A Very Expensive Poison at the Old Vic. The Doctor at Almeida Theatre. Leopoldstadt at Wyndham's Theatre. The Ocean at the End of the Lane at National Theatre, Dorfman.
And the Olivier Award goes to... Leopoldstadt.
Well, this is Laurence Olivier in 1937, which happens to be the year I was born. I was 29 when I worked in his company. The youngest actors in Leopoldstadt were about 9 years old. So we like to think of that as a torch being handed on down the generations. And in thanking, first of all, Sonia Friedman, thanking Patrick Marber and everybody who was at our meet and greet, and goodness, there were many of them, I'd also like to thank everybody who's been working to keep that torch lit. Because when theatres go dark, something larger goes dark with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Sir Tom Stoppard. Now, the nominees for Best Actor in a Supporting Role encompass a range of familiar faces. Let's take a look.
Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Arinze Kenny for Death of a Salesman at Young Vic. Colin Morgan for All My Sons at the Old Vic. Adrian Scarborough for Leopoldstadt at Wyndham's Theatre. Rhys Shearsmith for A Very Expensive Poison at the Old Vic.
And the Olivier Award goes to... Adrian Scarborough.
Hi there, Jason. And thank you very much. I'm honoured and a bit overexcited, as you can see by the decor, to receive this prestigious award. Firstly, my enormous respect to the other nominees. Leopoldstadt is Tom's remarkable play about family and identity, which are two things that we've all mourned very deeply the last 7 months. So how lovely to have something to celebrate. And I brought our Leopoldstadt family along so that I could thank them all, are hugely talented. In fact, the finest ensemble ever to grace a stage. I hope you can you see them all there?
Yeah, we can see them all.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well, I owe particular thanks to Ed and Aaron for listening so generously, and to Faye for her laughter and her sheer class, and Sonia and Roz for their impeccable care and exceptional biscuits, and to Tom and Patrick for their faith and encouragement, their patience and their friendship, and much love to my other family here back at home, Jake and Ez, and my incomparable comedy partner, Rose, for her shining wisdom and 30 years of the finest adventures. May we all be back with our theatrical families very, very soon. Much love to everybody. Mwah.
Lovely, lovely. Thanks so much to Adrian Scarborough. Congratulations, and good arts and crafts skills as well. As we celebrate tonight some outstanding productions and individuals, we also take a moment now to remember the many extraordinary talents that we have sadly lost over this last year. The list of people we remember this year ranges from actors to directors to writers to many of those who contribute enormously behind the scenes. To those friends who are celebrated tonight and many others who aren't, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your contribution to our stages. Now, it's my enormous pleasure to introduce Olivier Award winner, the film, TV and stage director, Sir Sam Mendes.
Hello, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here to celebrate the work of the British Theatre, not just in the weeks and months that came up to the closing of the theatres, but all the work that's going on now, all the people who are imagining projects, who are thinking about the next extraordinary piece of work that they're going to give to the public, because I'm a big believer in remaining positive during this time, and I think that when the theatre does finally return, it's going to come back stronger than ever. There have been lots of losers during this period of COVID, but there have also been some winners. Some people who've unexpectedly come into financial success, for example. And if you're watching this, I presume you love the theatre. And if you have the opportunity to help those people who are sitting at home now, working out the extraordinary things that they're going to put on stage when the theatre returns, I implore you to please help. And if you want to help, you can do a lot worse than to contribute to the fund that I helped set up, which is the Theatre Artists Fund, for the artists, the directors, the writers, the producers, the designers, and all the rest who have been left behind during this crisis, who are not connected to specific theatres or organisations, who are freelance, but who are the people who actually make the work that you pay to see. In the words of the great director Mike Nichols, film will make you famous, television will make you rich, but theatre will make you good. And here are the nominees for the Laurence Olivier Award 2020 for Best Director.
Sir Peter Hall Award for Best Director. Marion Elliott and Miranda Cromwell for Death of a Salesman at Young Vic and Piccadilly Theatre. Jamie Lloyd for Cyrano de Bergerac at Playhouse Theatre. Trevor Nunn for Fiddler on the Roof at Playhouse Theatre. Ian Rickson for Uncle Vanya at Harold Pinter Theatre.
And the Olivier Award goes to Marianne Elliott and Miranda Cromwell for Death of a Salesman.
Thank you. This is a huge honour and it's totally overwhelming. Firstly, I want to give my deepest thanks to this woman who's just incredible, and she put her trust in me. Taking this classic and beloved play and centering it in an African-American experience is at the heart of our production. So it would be remiss for me not to use this platform to advocate for change within our industry. We have an opportune moment to rebuild theatre differently, inclusively. Representation both on and off the stage is essential and overdue. Culture needs diversity. Really, this award belongs to the whole Death of a Salesman family, with special thanks to the astonishing Wendell Pierce and Sharon D. Clark, who led the company so beautifully. And I have to say thanks to my mum for everything.
This is a happy day, and this is a sad day. This is a sad day because of what theatre was, and because none of us know when it will properly return. Any shows that are happening right now are, let's make no bones about it, running at a loss. All our theatre practitioners are mainly freelance, and a lot of them have slipped through the cracks and have not had any benefits since March. But it's a happy day because it reminds us of what theatre is and what it can do and how it can touch hearts and minds and souls. Awards are, by their very nature, competitive, but today we should all stand together and know that we do something incredibly worthwhile. And when this pandemic is over, and it will be over, we will be key workers, because we will be providing the medicine that people need to commune, to be together, to share, to understand, to reflect, and to feel that electric joy that you get when you're watching the live arts. The chemistry of a crowd, how we miss it. Till we meet again.
Theatre makers have a great ability to take classic plays and look at them afresh for the times in which we're living. Never more so than seen in the nominees for this year's award for Cunard Best Revival.
Cunard Best Revival. Cyrano de Bergerac at Playhouse Theatre. Death of a Salesman at Young Vic and Piccadilly Theatre. Present Laughter at the Old Vic. Rosmersholm at Duke of York's Theatre.
And the Olivier Award goes to Cyrano de Bergerac.
I love words, that's all. So on behalf of the gang, we accept this award. The team is the shield and Martin Crimp's pen is the sword. Gold King Arthur and slice down barriers. Crew, creatives, producers, we thank you for backing us. To send out this calling card. This one's for the kid that's bored in class. For every misfit we pour a glass. So I'd let these words fly like they've got their own boarding pass. The Jamie Lloyd Company family, pure alchemy. The way the culture unfolds, we spin straw to gold and find the comedy and tragedy. 15,000 free tickets to level out the playing field, and we won't fly into the future until the plane is filled, revive and rebuild. But theatre has to do better and represent the people, because until the playing field is equal, we don't need a sequel, because this grass can't grow until we make the castle cave and fall. Plant seeds, whether it's weeds or palm trees, because I love words, that's all. Yang.
That's absolutely brilliant. I think that might be the best acceptance speech we've had all night.
Don't trust me, Jason Manford. Don't trust me.
I loved it. I loved it. I feel like I've not put half as much effort in as you two.
I'm trying to be like you, bro.
Well done. Congratulations, guys. Well deserved.
Thank you so much.
Well deserved. It was a fabulous show. Thank you to Nima Telegani and Vanika Adahira. It's not just straight plays in our theatres, but a whole range of comedies and entertainments, perhaps needed now more than ever. This year's nominees are a diverse group, so let's have a look at them.
The Noel Coward Award for Best Entertainment or Comedy Play. Amelia at Vaudeville Theatre. Fleabag at Wyndham's Theatre. Magic Goes Wrong at Vaudeville Theatre. The Upstart Crow at Gielgud Theatre.
And the Olivier Award goes to Amelia!
First of all, I want to say thank you to my agent, Georgina, to amazing friends and family who have been supporting me throughout, particularly my husband and my brilliant kids, my brother, my sister, my mum, surprise, my dad who's somewhere watching this laughing and saying, I told you so. But I mostly want to thank each and every freelancer and practitioner who made this show happen. This is our award. We did this. This show has been, from the very start, all about inclusivity and access and equity, and that's what we need. Thank you. This means absolute world to all of us who made this show. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Well, I don't know how you're going to carry it. It's a bit of a... You must have had a topsy-turvy 2020 then, haven't you? With the,
yes,
what happened to your leg?
I ruptured my Achilles playing netball.
Netball.
I know, it was a silly idea and it was definitely not worth it.
It's lockdown making us all get new hobbies.
I know, right? It was. They should never have let me out.
Well, let's hope you're back into the theatre soon where it's safe.
I hope so. Thank
Well, congratulations.
You. Thank you.
All right. Coming up, our royal guest joins us to make a very special presentation. But before that, here are some of the other awards given out tonight.
Best Actor in a Supporting Role in a Musical.
To everybody out there in the theatre community who is at times reaching a moment of despair lately, hold strong. We will be back, and we'll be back in the live theatres before you know it. I'm really honoured by this. Thank you so much.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role in a Musical.
Thank you so much. I haven't won anything since I was 9 years old, and I won Best Christmas Tree Drawing in the primary school competition. So this is so much better. Thank you so much.
Best Family Show.
We're so honoured to be able to accept this award on behalf of the amazing team that we made The Worst Witch with.
Best Costume Design.
I really need to dedicate this award to all of the freelance professionals that take part. The costume skill and talent that went into producing the show is exquisite, so this award is for them and all their hard work on pulling it together.
Outstanding Achievement in Opera.
I only wish the children could be here because this award is really to celebrate the children's ensemble, and so this one's for them.
Best Theatre Choreographer.
sure the whole cast would agree, we just can't wait to get back out there to full cheering houses back where we belong. So thank you to the Oliviers. Stephen and I are deeply touched and grateful for this award. Thank you.
Thank you.
On to one of the most significant and fought-over awards of the night. Here are the nominees for the Mastercard Best New Musical.
Mastercard Best New Musical. And Juliet at Shaftesbury Theatre. Amelie the Musical at the Other Palace. Dear Evan Hansen at Noel Coward Theatre. Waitress at Adelphi Theatre.
And the Olivier Award goes to Dear Evan Hansen!
I'm deeply grateful and honored to accept your glorious award for Best Musical because I know it will bring joy to my stupendous London company and the fans we have worldwide who look to our show now more than ever to feel a little less alone. In such a tumultuous time, when maintaining one's mental health is challenging at best, our show feels more relevant than ever. And that's why I say to you, Sam Tuddy, Becky McGuinness, Lauren Ward, Rupert Young, Lucy Anderson, Doug Colling, Cole Raquel Dennis, Jack Loxton, Marcus Harmon, our most talented understudies, our brilliant orchestra, and our beloved British fansins. this now Olivier Award-winning musical will reach up and rise again. Sincerely, me.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this award. This is absolutely incredible, and I know I can speak on behalf of the entire cast that I work with. Thank you so much to all of the creative team, Michael, Lack, Ben, Matt, everyone, Stacey, thank you so much. This has all been down to you. Thank you so much. This is for you. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done to everybody at Dear Evan Hansen. Now, 4 revivals of major musicals, the re-envisioning of an Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice classic, an enduring story of family and tradition, a biblical tale returns to this very theatre, and P.L. Travers' timeless family story flies back. Here are the nominees for Magic Radio Best Musical Revival.
Magic Radio Best Musical Revival. Evita at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. Fiddler on the Roof at Playhouse Theatre. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at the London Palladium. Mary Poppins at Prince Edward Theatre.
And the Olivier Award goes to Fiddler on the Roof.
It's impossible to thank every individual that gave their love and talent to this extraordinary production. I want to thank Trevor Nunn, our fantastic director, the incredibly talented Andy Nyman, the brilliant Judy Kuhn, the rest of our amazing company. We had a saying on this production, it takes a village, and it really, really does. There's 4 more groups of people I've got to thank. My incredible team at the Menier Chocolate Factory, where this production originated, Tom Chiracusa, Jason Maddox, Jose Pastat, and Shannon Foster. My wonderful producing partners, Sonia Friedman and Michael Harrison. There's no one I'd rather be in the trenches with. Special mention also to Charlie Bath and David Knock at SFB. You're brilliant. Our amazing co-producers and investors who, without their faith and love, we literally would not have been able to build our little village. But most importantly, to you, the audience, who supports, celebrates, and revels in live theatre. Without you, our village would not exist. Keep coming and help us thrive in the future.
Tonight, for the 2nd year, the Olivier Awards are delighted to be joined by a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cornwall.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a huge pleasure to be with you at the Olivier Awards. And it's such a treat to be in the theatre again, even if we haven't quite made it as far as the stage. The awards were named, of course, after one of the finest actors this country has ever seen. As many of you will know, in 1971, Laurence Olivier gave his maiden speech in the House of Lords, describing himself as the coyest maiden of 64. He was the first great actor to be granted a life peerage, and he spoke, naturally enough, of his love for the theatre. These words of his have, I think, a particular resonance in this current challenging climate. I believe in the theatre. I believe that in a great city, or even a small city or village, a great theatre is the outward and visible sign of an inward and probable culture. Surely we could all echo Olivia. I believe in the theatre. It's the cornerstone of a fertile cultural life, a forum for debate, and a powerful means of building community. After all, a play can be many things: funny, heartbreaking, cathartic, comforting. It can entertain us for an evening or enrich the soul forever. But whatever form a performance takes, it allows us to deepen our understandings of ourselves, others, and the world around us. Perhaps more importantly, those of us who believe in the theatre also believe in its resilience. The last few months have very sadly hit theatres and those working in them extremely hard, just as they have all the live performing arts. I was therefore delighted to learn about the creation of the Theatre Artists Fund, which has already made an enormous difference to many. I should like to thank those of you whose profession is in the theatre for your determination and flexibility. Please remain resilient. We need you, and we've missed you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for me to turn to my business for this evening, presenting the special Olivier Award to Don Black. Don, of course, has lived and breathed the theatre for decades, and his wonderful lyrics have been part of the fabric of our lives. I said just now that the theatre is a builder of community. Don, as always, captures this sentiment perfectly in Mrs. Henderson Presents, with the brilliant line, "When we're together, all our woes have gone." Don, you're a great dispeller of woes. Many congratulations on this thoroughly well-deserved award. I should like to give this to you personally. As you know, under the situation, I can only watch you from afar.
Well, it's very kind of you. To use an old-fashioned word, I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I thought this kind of thing only happened to Stephen Sondheim. A lyric is only half a song. So I'd like to thank my many musical collaborators and thank them for... I can't thank them all because there isn't time, but I would like to thank one person who happens to be here, and that's Andrew Lloyd Webber. I want to thank him not only for his wonderful music, but for my house and carpets as well. I also want to thank the Society of London Theatre for this great honour. A couple of years ago, I lost my beautiful wife, Shirley. We shared 60 years of unrivalled happiness together. If it wasn't for Shirley, I would still be selling ties in a menswear shop in Hackney. I've written a lot of musicals. In fact, I was 6'4" when I started writing them. A musical is one of the hardest things to get right. The American humorist Oscar Levant's definition of a musical is priceless. He said, "A musical is a series of catastrophes followed by a party." I've always felt that in 3 minutes, a song could do more than the grandest speech or noblest sermon. Nothing appeals to us quite the way a song appeals to the heart. From the heart they come, and to the heart they go. I would like to finish by saying that I hope it won't be long before a show is coming to a theatre near you. Thank you so much.
Join us after the break as I chat with Don Black and his longtime collaborator, Andrew Lloyd Webber, plus a very special performance. See you in a minute. Welcome back to the Olivier Awards. I'm joined now by two very special guests. We've just seen the special award recipient, Don Black, and, of course, everybody knows Andrew Lloyd Webber. Thanks for joining us. Now, you actually gave a special mention to Andrew in your speech there.
Yes.
Even of all the people you've worked with.
Yeah, I mean, I made a joke of it, thanking him for my carpets and house. But, yeah, was a life-changing moment in my life where we started working together.
Yeah.
I was doing all right, but when Andrew came along and that collaboration made me much more of a global entity.
And you've worked on several shows together now, from Sunset Boulevard, of course, and you're working on one at the moment. Was there something in Don's lyrics that you saw and thought, I need to work with this guy?
Well, I've always been a great admirer of Don's work, and I was particularly captured, actually, by a musical that he wrote with John Barry called Billy, which was starring Michael Crawford, who, of course, went on to be my Phantom, in the Theatre Royal Drury Lane. Wonderful, wonderful show, I thought. And I remember after that, I felt I had to contact Don and say that one day it'd be great to see if we could work together.
Wow. So you...
I'm trying very hard to look humble.
You can't look humble with an Olivier Award in your hands. Just accept it. I think this is a day you can accept all the praise that's coming to you. And from the years that you've been doing... I mean, Bond songs over the years you've done?
5 Bond songs.
5 Bond songs, musicals, and pop hits. Like, how are you able to just cast your mind and your talents to any of these genres?
Well, I just love lyrics ever since I was a kid, As soon as I heard fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly, I gotta love one man till I die. And I thought, that's so clever, because it's true. Fish do have to swim, birds do have to fly. It's another way of saying I love you without saying I love you. I've just always been fascinated by that.
I love that. I loved in your speech as well, saying, lyrics come from the heart and go to other people's hearts. I think that's a beautiful way of putting it. Is there any songs that you look back on in your career that you still... listen to now and still get a little tear in your eye from thinking about them, where you were at the moment when you wrote it?
Funnily enough, not because he's here. It's when I listened to Tell Me on a Sunday.
Oh, really?
I was very proud of that piece because I think a lot of it is to do that it was just Andrew and myself, with all due respects to directors and producers.
Yeah.
We were just a couple of songwriters working together. And I think you get a kind of galvanised end product.
And is there a secret between your success, do you think, Andrew?
Well, I'm going to put it another way. I think Don is probably too modest to say this, but there are very, very many lyricists and people who can rhyme brilliantly and whose dexterity is quite extraordinary. But there are very, very few lyricists who can go to the heart. And that is what I think Don does brilliantly. I mean, people often say about Oscar Hammerstein, oh, well, he's not as clever as Lawrence Hart, who wrote with Richard Rodgers as well, obviously. But when you think about it, fools can explain it, wise men never try. I mean, that's Hammerstein. Don has the Hammerstein quality of being able to touch and to go to the heart of things in a way that very, very few lyricists do.
And when you look through your career, I mean, I was looking at just some of the songs you've done with people like Quincy Jones and, Michael Jackson at Ben. I just thought, wow. I mean, who looks at a film about a boy with a pet rat and then writes a #1 hit about it? Like, it's amazing.
Well, I'm very good with animals. I did Born Free about a lion
as well.
So lions and rats. That's my area.
And when you're obviously from London originally, your parents, of course, they're immigrants here. Yes. They're both working class, seamstress. Like, at what point in that childhood did theatre or songwriting grab you? Because it's not a traditional, if there is a traditional sort of path to it.
My parents always loved Russian gypsy-type songs.
Right.
My mother would go around singing Besame Mucho all day. And we loved them. My sister could play a bit of piano. And the big thing in my life growing up was the Hackney Empire.
Right.
I lived within walking distance, so I went to see people like Max Miller and Shelton and all these people. And as you know, I was a comic for a while.
I did hear this, that you were a comedian. How did that go?
Well, comedy was in my blood. It's a shame it wasn't in my act. A little humour there.
I might have that.
Don, can I ask a question?
Please.
have you ever performed on the Palladium stage?
No, that would be a great thing, Andrew, but...
If only you knew someone who could make that happen.
As I know you so well, and I understand you've got an interest in this place, who knows?
But is there any point when you look to the future that you think, I'll get to that age and then I'll knock it on the head?
No, because Irving Berlin lasted till 102.
Right.
Which means I've got about 70 or 80 years to go.
The thing about Don is that he's a theatre man and an enthusiast, apart from being one of the very, very nicest and kindest people you'll ever meet.
Thank you,
and the thing, I always have a smile when Don's on the phone to me, because he's just a joy to work with, and the most modest person I've come across ever in theatre.
Well, what a lovely thing to say, and what a great recipient of this award.
Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure to meet you.
Andrew.
It really was. To close tonight's awards, we are delighted to be joined by Sharon D. Clarke, 3-time Olivier Award winner as of tonight. She is here to perform a very special version of a song written by Don Black and Andrew Lloyd Webber. From the musical Aspects of Love, its lyrics are remarkably pertinent to the times we are living in right now. So here is Sharon with Love Changes Everything.
Love changes everything, hands and faces, earth and sky. Love changes everything, how you live and how you die. Love can make a summer fly, or a night seem like a lifetime. Oh, love changes everything. Now I tremble at your name. Nothing in the world will ever be the same. Love changes everything. Days are longer, words mean more. Love changes everything. Pain is deeper than before. Love will turn your world around, and that world will last forever. Oh, love changes everything, brings you glory, brings you shame. Nothing in the world will ever be, never gonna be the same. Into the world we go, planning futures, shaping years. Love bursts in, and suddenly all our wisdom, it just disappears. Love makes fools of everyone. All the rules we made are broken, 'cause love changes everyone. Live and perish in its flame. Love will never, never let you be the same. Love will never, never let you be the same.
Well, that is it from the Olivier Awards with Mastercard. Enormous congratulations to this year's winners. Theatre will be back everywhere across the country very soon, and we look forward to entertaining audiences all over the country. We finish with a look at some of the other winners from tonight. From the London Palladium, keep safe and good night.
Royal Albert Hall Award for Best Sound Design.
To see a stage full of women in a show made by women was an extraordinary thing. To each and every one of you involved with the media, on stage, off stage, behind the scenes and supporting the show, congratulations and a huge thank you.
Best Original Score or New Orchestrations.
We contend now more than ever that the world needs the healing power of community that only theatre can provide. And while we know that this is just an intermission, we can't wait to come back and reopen our stages soon.
Best New Dance Production.
I would like to thank all the dancers at Ballet Black. They have been amazing throughout this whole process. I want to thank all the people behind the scenes here at Ballet Black and Tony Racklin and the whole team at the Barbican, and also our brilliant audience who have stuck with us through thick and thin.
Outstanding Achievement in Dance.
Orgullosa como flamenca y como española recibir este premio Olivier. Agradezco de todo corazón a todo el que hace posible este reconocimiento que marca para mí un antes y un después en mi carrera.
Outstanding Achievement in Affiliate Theatre.
Thank you so much. I mean, I'm so honoured to win this award. Thank you so much to the panel for picking this dark and messed up show to win.
White Light Award for Best Lighting Design.
How brilliant in the middle of all this COVID pandemic craziness to celebrate something that was such pure theatre as Ocean at the End of the Lane.
Best New Opera Production.
So here's courage to everybody, thanks to everybody for large-scale work and the sort of work that allows an audience to speak to a stage and the stage back to an audience. Thank you for this. Thank you for the award.
Blue Eye Theatre Technology Award for Best Set Design.
Thank you so much. Mary Poppins has been very happily part of my life for a very long time. And when we re-emerge from this fog, she will fly once again over the rooftops of London.